The fucking guy.
The guy.
All right.
Are you live?
Yeah, I'm on the internets. Oh, dude, I got a notification for YouTube. That's cool.
Oh, that is cool.
I like that. New Carnage trailer out today. Is that true?
Yeah. Sharon's my story.
You guys weren't talking about that recently.
Brews live now. Oh, it didn't let me add a caption. Whatever.
Whatevs. Let's find it.
Get in on these comments. Hi, might be Brews people.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna have that beat stuck in my head the rest of the day too. Dun, dun.
Watch live now. MBN Network. Might be Bros. Might be news crossover episode. Oh my God. What up, Sean?
Sean Plogger.
I'm a guest. Guest of high regard.
All right. Let's get this thing shared out there and start a podcast. You don't type in a news article over there?
Yeah, man. Going for it.
Oh, man. I'm looking forward to tonight. Like, I just
Oh yeah, just
need to have like
loose.
a chill,
Yeah.
just a chill hang, you know?
Dude, yeah, absolutely.
Do I go in breweries in PA?
Are we live?
Yeah.
Sure then.
I'm gonna go and see what happens. All right, that's probably enough shares for now. All right, everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Good.
Yeah.
The view on my screen is just a little tight, but
Yeah.
I don't even really need it because we're not talking to anybody that's not here in this room.
Right. Nope.
So, all right.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Test. Hello. All right, let's do this.
Sound like a high Larry King.
I pushed that hard as shit. You hear it? Yeah. Just the record button right here is like. All right, here we go. Podcast time.
The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Might Be Brews, episode 55, the podcast where we explore the people, places, and brews of the craft beer world. My name is John. With me, as always, Mr. Steve. How you doing today?
10, 9, 8, 76ers.
And today's guest, the founder and president of the MBN Network, our podcast boss man, Taylor Cooper. How you doing, Taylor?
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here.
Thank you for doing the little hand clap, because I always forget to push buttons, and I knew that's what you would have done if you were running the board.
Yeah.
As soon as you introduce anybody, you always just nail the sounders, and I forget every time, and that's why you're the producer, man.
Well, not technically. I'm a guest this week.
Yeah, just as a guest. I'm super excited for this, but before we get into the questions with our guests, make sure you check out the brand new mbnnetwork.com. It's never been easier to find your new favorite podcast. Has it been easy enough now that it has been easy? It's never been easier. Now it has been easy enough to find your new favorite podcast.
Now it's literally the easiest thing possible.
It's easier than that sentence. That's for sure.
At what point is it not easier than ever? Like it has been easy for a long time. I don't know.
It's the easiest it's ever been. Right now,
I think I like that better.
Yeah. Go download the app. It's the easiest it's ever been.
Yeah. It's never been easier. I don't know why that sentence just messes with my head. Shout out Ted Lasso. It's like when you do the when that word, you say it and it just doesn't sound right. You know what I mean?
Are you watching Ted Lasso now?
I finished it.
You finished it.
I finished it.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Yes.
I got it's plenty of stuff to talk about, but does that ever happen to you guys? Like you literally say a word or you're typing a word and you're like, that's not right. Like the audio of it just doesn't actually make sense. And you're like, it's not really a word.
Yeah.
Like, you're not sure if that's the right.
I
really
make up words
yeah.
all the time. And I also say the wrong names all the time. I do it on purpose, usually just to annoy Jackie.
Yeah.
But also, there is a huge percentage of the time that I realistically don't know what I'm talking about, and I just make it up.
I hear you. Me too.
Like I'm like, well, I already started talking, so I have to finish this.
Right. So look, guys, if you're on Facebook watching us, go check us out on YouTube because we also live stream to YouTube. But there's a ton of other great content there. My brother, obviously, doing the review or preview yesterday in 5 minutes is back. So there's just a lot of really awesome content on the YouTube page. Make sure you go there, watch the videos, like them, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Also, a very special ask to you guys, anybody that's watching right now, go find us on your podcast platform that you prefer and rate us. Give us a review, rate us, and that really helps us get some extra plays and things like that. So it helps the algorithm, helps us get noticed. So I'd really appreciate it if you go find it on iTunes or SoundCloud or Google Podcasts, whatever it is, and do that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, patreon.com/MBN Network. We just did a giveaway.
Yep.
We've got more coming. So when you become a patron, it's $5 a month, but you get some extra content from us. You get entered into monthly giveaways. So it's a really cool thing. And then it helps us get new mics and new cameras and all that good stuff. So we really, really appreciate it. We've got 2 sponsors. Eunomia CBD, as always, use promo code MBN for 20% off free shipping and a free gift. That's EUNOMIACBD.com. And Linode.com. Accelerate innovation with Linode's simple, affordable, and accessible Linux cloud solutions and services. Linode.com/MBN. So just to kind of give you an idea what Linode is, if anybody's using like Microsoft Azure or AWS, they're, I call them like the AWS killer, right? So Linode does all of those cloud services that helps you with data going to an app or anything that you're really using the cloud for. But the other thing that's much different than them, like they're a local Philly company, they're fans of the show, but they also give incredible service. So anybody that's ever tried to deal with AWS and their stuff is like super clunky, it's difficult to navigate the website. If you ever try to get support, that's terrible as well. You got long wait times. You don't know who you're talking to. So you're going to get like incredible support, just like a local company that you would hope to deal with. But they're also the world's largest cloud provider. Is that right?
In the world.
In the world.
In the world.
So, and they're a fraction of the price of the big guys. So definitely, if you or anybody at work or whatever, it's huge for us. Check out Linode.com/MBN. You get a $100 credit to sign up. So
it's really a big deal.
Yeah.
It's really awesome stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're really good to us, and we would love to return the favor. So if you guys have the opportunity to check it out or know somebody that might use it, man, we would really appreciate it. But who's ready to crack a beer?
I am.
Do it.
Do it in front of the mic.
Yep. Oh, that was a good one.
Hey, shout out to there's another beer podcast, Best Friends in the World.
Okay.
I think it's called. They had Hannah. No. Yes. I forget. The girl, the head brewer of and I think owner of Naked Brewing.
Okay.
They were having so much fun on their podcast. I think it was Monday they went live. They go live on Twitch. And I was just like cruising in my car. I got the notification they were on Twitch, and I just started listening to it. And I was trying not to watch, you know what I mean? Because I had the phone in my holster, but I'm driving. And so I'm listening to them. And man, it was just a lot of fun listening to them. They were having a great time. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys. Here, pass this around. Just so you guys know, we are drinking a Czech style Pilsner from Treehouse called Ship Shape that I just got.
And I enjoy the resemblance to the Phillies powder blue uniforms.
Yeah, I don't know if they were trying to do that, but I mean, as soon as I saw that can, that's exactly what I thought of.
I feel like I see Mike Schmidt in this can.
Right? But yeah, Monday was an interesting day for me because I was going to do a job in Massachusetts. And luckily, where we live in Western Pennsylvania, when you're heading into the greater Boston area, it literally takes me through Charlton every time where Treehouse is. So I always make a trip. And I was just there like 3 weeks ago. I went back, and about 30-40 minutes before I was going to get to Treehouse, I'm on the phone with the customer, and they postponed for 2 weeks. So I was like, crap. So I actually finished driving that extra 40 minutes to Treehouse. Everybody already spent hundreds of dollars on orders that I was picking up. So I just picked it up and then drove right back. So I was literally just did a round trip to Treehouse and back. Yeah. It was, slightly annoying, but, whatever. It's for the customer, I guess. And I just sat in the car all day and listened to podcasts.
So now what would have happened if you didn't get up there? And we had already gotten all that. Do we get refunds if we don't go pick it up?
I think so. I think that's what happens. If you don't pick it up by the end of the day, they just put it back in stock and refund your card, I believe.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't ever have to do that.
Their ordering process is so smooth, though.
Yeah. Oh, just
hop on there.
It's gotten better. The little website, the little mobile website's gotten better, and they're just incredibly efficient.
How long was the line wait?
No, 3-4 cars ahead of me, and usually like the way they've been doing it, the people came out like in a wave. There was like 3-4 people with hand carts, and they put their stuff out at 3 or 4 cars. So they loaded them up, and then they were out of the way, and then they went back, and then same thing. They came out with 3-4 orders at the same time. So incredibly efficient. We definitely have to get into the big beer news that's going on, but I do want to point out, who knows what's going on at Treehouse behind the scenes? Nobody really knows. And maybe I was a little hyper aware of it because of everything going on, but the staff was 75%, 80% female, and everybody looked like they were having a great time. And I took notice of it, and I was like, man, they're maybe going out of their way to hire women and bring more women into the industry. And everybody was working their butts off, but I saw people that were looked like they were on breaks. And how, I don't know if you've been up there.
No, I have not.
It's just a beautiful campus, if you want to call it that. And people are walking around and, the staff is just kind of, it's a great place to just walk around and take a break. But everybody just looked like they were having a great time. They were super cheery. Hopefully they're getting taken care of and there's no BS going on there. But I think we got to get into the beer news.
Yeah. Like you talk about Treehouse, and we don't know if they are or not, but there's got to be places out there that are doing it the right way, that have their infrastructure set up so that it doesn't allow some of the horse shit that's obviously been going on at other breweries.
Well, for the people like me who don't really know what's going on? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I'll try to catch you up the best that I know, because I don't know if I know everything.
Because I saw the internet was a buzz.
It was a buzz.
Yeah. Sure.
Like people were definitely bugging out about. I kind of caught the gist, but I don't know all the breweries that were caught up in this, and it seems like a bunch.
It's tough. I don't even know all the breweries because there's so many.
So if you go on Instagram, the username is Rat Magnet, RATMAGNET. But Rat Magnet, her name's Brienne, and she is she works for a brewery in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And she, dealt with some sexism on her job, and she described it on Instagram, and she goes, hey, everybody, any other women in the industry, tell me, hardship, sexism, things like that you've dealt with at the workplace.
Okay.
Well, she started getting bombarded with messages and DMs from people all around the industry.
Wow.
That were just completely they felt like they had somebody they could really go to and could bring some light to the situation, because it's no I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but everybody knows that the industry has the reputation of just being run by white bearded
boys
white
club.
Guys. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a boys club. Yeah.
And there's a lot of great progress happening, with women, but there's a lot of women in the industry who have to deal with that culture and are not being treated properly. And it's kind of being swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Sure. And people are there's toxic work environments and things like that. So anyway, she's now become this vessel where she's reposting and putting these messages that come to her into her stories and putting it out there for everybody to see. And it's really just exploded because I think a lot of people who felt like they had no voice or had no place or tried to tell superiors and things like that of, issues in the workplace as far as, sexual allegations, sexual misconduct, anything like that.
It's just
they had nobody
to go
to
away.
To.
Yeah.
And now it's become this awesome thing where people are able to go to somebody, tell their story. She's able to put it out, and it's getting all this attention. And just like any big movement, what's exciting is that it seems like it's going to actually bring some real change, and that people are going to go back and reflect and make better workplaces and just do the right thing for people in the industry. So so that's kind of the gist of what's going on, but there's really been some like blockbuster name drops and breweries that have been pointed out in here.
Wow. Like breweries that you frequent?
Yeah, kind of. The big one close to us is Tired Hands.
Okay.
So I don't know.
And where is that?
Tired Hands is Ardmore. Yep.
Okay. And you've been there?
Yes.
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yep. And they have arguably like some of the best beer in Pennsylvania. They're probably one of the top rated breweries.
We've had them. We've had their beer on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely.
A bunch of times, probably.
Yeah. And
it sounds familiar.
They trade beers, like that type of beer is so like coveted. It's kind of like Treehouse for us, where people that are out of state will trade for it and things like that.
Okay, that's cool.
So it turns out that it was at least what people are saying, the allegations, it's a very toxic workplace, and people are not. Some people were not treated very well, and things like that. And I don't know the details of really what the allegations are, but it was enough that the owner and the person who was like kind of the head of the whole company and brewery operations stepped down and is just like completely out of the mix now.
Of Tired Hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
Other than he's the owner.
I think that's the one. I think that's the. I've read some about him specifically. In whatever somebody's Facebook post.
There was an Inquirer, at least a web story on it.
Really?
That I read.
Wow.
And I can't imagine that he would step down if there wasn't at least some fire to that smoke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw something just the other day. I guess it was like a social media post from them that said that the crew, the people who worked there, kind of voted him out almost. Like they made it sound like, yeah, we asked him to leave and he left. I can't confirm. That's just what I think what I saw on their Instagram or whatever. But
so now as a consumer, I feel kind of stuck because I want to support those workers that are still there.
Right.
But I don't want to put money
in that dude's pocket.
In that pocket.
Right.
Yeah, it's an interesting place to be because I've seen plenty of people posting that like, hey, no more, I'm not going there. It definitely makes you think twice, even if the product is good, what kind of biz. But I think it depends on what comes of it, because if there's a situation where, maybe he gets bought out or the workers are, trying to keep things going, and, we want to make sure that we support everybody's livelihood, but I'm sure you can imagine there's people that can find other jobs, but there's others that, may just be doing exactly what they want to do or have been trying to work their way up. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it actually pans out. Cause I mean, they actually just completely shut their doors for a few days. I'm not sure if they're back open yet, but, I think they said online, like, we shut down the facility. There's no production happening. There's no brewing. We're just like,
wow.
Like shut down until things shake out. And I don't know. It's crazy. And it's so good that these things are happening, but it's also wild to think about how a business can absolutely get destroyed for just not doing the right thing.
I mean, it's crazy that it takes something like this right? Like that's what I think is the biggest shame out of all of it, is that it took this woman to, you know, put it out there on the internet, like, hey, share your story, and it basically blew up and went viral. Whereas, like, hey, this guy wouldn't have been in this kind of trouble if he would have just did the right thing.
Yeah.
And then the employees that were writing to Brienne would have had a whole different story.
Yeah.
Right. Like they would have said, hey, I work at Tired Hands and I saw something, I said something, and they did something.
Yeah.
And therefore, because that apparently didn't happen.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
I've been following her on Instagram. I've been going through the stories, and I've been trying to read as much as I can. Modern Times is another huge brewery that's taken heat. There's a ton of them. And I think it's just, you know, there's a culture that's been built. There's, you know, people that are doing despicable things and are getting away with it because it's, you know, it's the toxic guy culture, maybe, you know, where people just enable other people to, you know, unfairly, you know, hit on girls or just do things that are, you know, but there's been some like really crazy stories that I've read of, you know, women pretty much, you know, being raped or attempted rape, and, you know, going to talk to people about it. And they're just like, you know, he's a rascal, you know,
Yeah.
I'll talk to him. Don't worry about it. And nothing happens. You know what I mean?
Well, like straight up, I mean, good beer or shit beer, like those guys don't deserve the money.
Yeah.
They don't deserve it. Like they don't deserve those workers. And even if like, this is just my opinion, like shout out to the employees of Tired Hands and all these other places that are sticking it out and trying to make it work. But at the same time, like your hard work is
Yeah.
basically paying people who have poor behavior. Like it's obscene. It sucks.
And I think the biggest thing to come of this, hopefully, will be a lot of these breweries kind of set up bare bones. Like they had their brewer, they might have had their owner, they might have had whatever. They weren't setting themselves up as companies, as a corporation. It was just a couple guys and their brew kettles and some taps and let's go.
Yeah.
They didn't have an HR department. They
Yep.
didn't have any structure behind what they were building.
Sure.
And if you don't have that structure, it can come back and bite you in the ass when
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Great call there.
Yeah.
That's Fish brings up a good point. You know, it is crazy just how prevalent it is. It became something that it's like, this is not just, you know, unique circumstances. It is just become, and maybe it has a lot to do with what Mr. Steve said, but there's, you know, whatever it is that breeds this culture, in a lot of places has become very unfair to a lot of women. Shout out Mario. That's right. Evil Genius as well. A bunch of stuff came out today. That's another PA brewery that is distributed everywhere, you know?
I mean, I think a big takeaway from this too is that, you know, the beer industry really isn't any different than any other industry in this regard, right? Like, you know, I work in the industry that I work in is a boys club as well. Like there's tons of, you know, office spaces and retail organizations that are run by dudes that don't, you know, this is happening everywhere is my point. And more things like this need to happen, where like more things, it all needs to come to the light in one way, shape or form. And, you know, I think that it's great that that this stuff is happening, that people are at least talking about it. And Steve, like you said, like it leaves people in kind of a weird situation where they're like, well, I want to support, but I don't. And, you know, it's kind of good that it leaves it up to the consumer at this point to like talk amongst themselves, be like, what is the right thing to do here?
Do I go buy 1 4-pack and tip $100?
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's actually a really great.
Not that I like.
Yeah.
Just throwing hundreds around like I'm Henry Hill going into the Copacabana.
I've been watching a bunch of those videos, man. I like all of them. You ever see the Mr. Beast guy on YouTube?
Wait, what videos are you talking about?
Like, all right, so I know that doesn't make any sense, but like where people are just tipping people like crazy.
No, I haven't.
So like there was one where like some dude walked up to like a Burger King thing and was like, "Hey, are you guys doing okay?" and blah blah blah. But then like 50 Cent walked up with them and they just started handing out like not hundreds, but like bound like things of cash. Like I think it was maybe like $1,000 a piece or something, and then just like started handing it to each employee. And they're going nuts. But I also the reason I brought up Mr. Beast is it's definitely a channel you should check out. I think the guy makes such an ungodly amount of money on YouTube that he spends an ungodly amount of money to make the videos.
Wow.
Like a video I watched today was the guy was
must be nice.
Yeah, the guy ordered pizza from like Domino's or something, right? And the guy came to deliver at this house. And they were like, "Hey, do you want some extra money? Like, if I pay you like $1,000 or a couple grand, like, will you come back tomorrow and like help us move or come back tonight or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." So they actually like go to Walmart and they buy like furniture and beds and couches and all these different places. They buy a lawnmower, all of this stuff, all new appliances. The guy helps them move it all in. And then they're like, "Hey, so we're not going to pay you. We're just going to give you everything. Here's the key to this house."
Wow.
And they gave the guy a house. And he was like, "Dude, I have a daughter and I've been staying, like living in somebody's house, like renting a room from them because like I just haven't been able to, get stuff together, whatever." And they gave him and they paid off like a house. He said the house was almost $100 grand. And then they gave him everything in it also.
Wow.
He was like a fan of Monster. He had like Monster stickers on like his car and his phone and stuff. They stocked his fridge with like 100 cans of Monster and toys for his kids. They got him a bunch of dog food and stuff. But I'm thinking like, how much freaking money? But he does that stuff all the time. He did a bunch of videos where they would go out and they like went to a place to eat and they ordered water. And then when like the waiter walked away, they just dropped like $700 on the table and left. And there was somebody across the thing recording them, and they're just getting reactions. I mean,
I would love to make videos like that.
Yeah,
I would love to be able to do something like that.
To be able to have the money to make a video like that.
Are you kidding me? Like, wow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Subscribe to our goddamn YouTube channel.
But it's just crazy because I think early on they were like, "Oh, we average like 30 grand per episode that we put out, so we can spend whatever, like 20." You know what I mean? But he does ridiculous things like he'll like just randomly be like pull up in a parking lot with his friends like in a new car. Wow. And then he's like, "All right, the 4 of you race to that dumpster and whoever touches it first gets this car." And then they do it, and then he literally gives a car to somebody. Like, it's just crazy the amount of money that he spends. But what's nice is like all of his friends are hooked up. You know what I mean? He'll do challenges where he's like, take a camera with you and see how fast you can spend $10,000.
If you're watching this, I would do this for you as well.
Yeah, so help us get that YouTube money.
God damn it. We work so hard.
Real quick, shout out Seth also. Seth was texting me about what's going on with Evil Genius, making sure we had that on our radar. So, of course, thanks to you, and if your wife's with you, for watching. Yeah, Fish, it's crazy. You should definitely look that up and give him some more YouTube money.
Speaking of Evil Genius, can I be that guy for just a second? And I don't want to make light of the situation that's going on, but does anybody like their beer?
I don't know. I mean, it's in every store,
everywhere
that you go into, so it must sell.
But does anybody like it?
I mean,
does anybody say, "Yo, I gotta go get that Evil Genius, John, again"?
Tell us in the comments.
I'm not a fan.
I've never had anything that I've wanted to try a second time.
No, nothing crazy. But like, I know people that like just go into the beer distributor every week and get, Trogs, like a good IPA from Trogs or a good Victory, whatever. And it's just like, that's their go-to. And maybe they've got enough space that they've become go-tos for somebody, and
where they're
not interested in, I don't know.
They are in Fishtown, and I was actually going to bring that up because my plan, I got off tomorrow, people. If anybody wants to head out to Human Robot,
yeah,
I'm going to go get some beers there for lunch tomorrow. So Human Robot is in Fishtown. So Evil Genius is maybe 10 minutes from there.
Okay.
And I have zero plan at stopping there.
Yeah.
And it would be like the easiest thing in the world to hit both.
It's not exciting whatsoever.
Hear that, Evil Genius? You're trash.
Trash. I need a trash button. Trash. Trash. That's what I want.
Trash.
Every time we drink a beer. Yeah. Hello.
Trash sounder.
Trash. I'm the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch.
I don't know. I think I've had like a few of their beers, but I don't remember. Like, I don't remember them.
Yeah,
they don't stick out.
Nothing blew my mind. I mean, I don't know. I remember being like, being an early craft beer fan and their stuff just being prevalent. And I bought and tried a lot of it and really didn't go back that often.
Purple Monkey Dishwasher is the one that I remember trying first, I think.
Yeah.
And then they have the cool names.
Yeah, the names are crazy.
Or catchy. But
yeah. But, you know, yeah, the product is not really there for me. Let me see. What did Mario say? When Evil Genius ran the April Fool's special, where a case was like $4, I considered ordering some. Wait, I did see that.
He considered it, but didn't.
Yeah, right. That's my point.
They're trash.
They were selling $4 cases, and
I mean, Mario certainly seems to agree.
Yeah,
that they're trash.
Yeah, but didn't do it. He's considered it, but didn't do it.
Sorry if you work for Evil Genius.
So I guess one of the points that I was thinking about was like the Me Too movement was all of this sexual harassment stuff that was happening in the entertainment industry.
Right.
Right. And it really brought that to light. And then it kind of goes away. And then now like this is popping up in the beer industry. Like, does it really have to like go through each industry? At what point can people take enough notice to it for it to just like, you know, really hit everybody's radar and become a serious topic where people need to make change and, you know, get over that hump and make it just part of like everyday life, just like, you know, teaching your kids the right way to do things and
don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I don't
just don't be an asshole.
Hard.
Yeah,
it's not difficult to not be an asshole.
It's pretty much common sense at this point.
I have this. I've always had this theory, and I thought about it a lot watching Ted Lasso. That like everybody can be broken or not broken, like, but everybody can like you can find the good in people and you can pull it out of them. I think everybody has the ability, but like sometimes when I talk to like my wife about it, she's like, not everybody's like that. Like, you can try to make people self-aware and self-reflect and get them to think about whatever. And you can't expect to change people, but I don't know. I hope that I always have that optimism that like, you know, if enough things happen and people are called out and people realize, you know, what's happening is serious and that what they thought maybe wasn't a big deal is a big deal. People can change, people can be good. And
if I can change and you can change, we all can change. Sylvester Stallone and Rocky IV.
Wow.
It's like, what's this from?
It's really good.
Are we doing a quick Ted Lasso?
Yeah, let's do
aside.
Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Do we want? Let's get another beer going before we get into.
First of all, this beer was really good.
Very tasty.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's just super good. I love their pilsners, but I also got a few oak ones that have like oak softened or oak aged a little bit.
You got to be ready for that.
Yeah, but I think they're amazing.
They're really good, but I have to I can't that's almost got to be like an event. Like I'm going to sit down and really think about this beer. Wow. Like this, I could just drink whenever and be very happy with it.
Yep. Those, you're right. You're right. You know what I had was, another thing that I ordered. Did you see the non-alcoholic
fish is right on it.
Fish.
What are we drinking next?
Fish is funny. I don't know. What do we got? We going dark
for the podcast?
Let's go candy and then let's go stout.
For the podcast people, Fish said, "Yeah, I saw they weren't getting that quote."
Yeah, I
must have been able to see it all over our faces.
Not as much as I saw it.
Thank God you said something because I was about to be like, Ted Lasso said that,
right?
It sounds like something Ted Lasso would have said.
So let's crack open this Wrong Crowd candy bars.
Oh, I've been looking forward to trying some of these guys' beer.
Golden box
since
with
you guys
cold
were over
brew
there.
coffee conditioned on cacao nibs and vanilla.
Oh my.
So here's my Ted Lasso thing, and I kind of shared it with John on the way over.
Yeah.
I really like Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yep.
I can't tell you why I thought it was great. You say, Steve, is it funny? It's funny.
Yeah.
It's not the most hysterical thing I've ever seen in the world.
It's not The Office.
I'm not busting a gut laughing.
Right.
Is it drama filled? No, not particularly. There's not a whole lot of conflict.
Every time drama comes up, it gets squashed pretty quick. It does.
So why do we like it so much? And I don't want to spoil it because I know probably a bunch of people haven't even really dug into it yet.
I think that you're right. It's not the funniest, but it's not the same at all, but it kind of reminds me of Dave.
I was going to bring up Dave later because it's coming back.
Yeah, it is.
616.
But there's just moments that happen
that.
where it's so good feeling that you can't help but just smile and be like so happy that like this is going down. And you can't not like Ted Lasso.
It's so wholesome.
Yeah.
I like the pacing of it. I like how it first of all, his relationship with his assistant coach is my favorite part of the whole thing. Their like chemistry together, their relationship, and just kind of what is going on up there with them is that it's just a great show. And for those of you who don't know, it's about a guy. He's a Division 3, Division 2, whatever college football coach somewhere in the Midwest, and he gets a job over in England somewhere coaching a Premier League soccer team. And him and his assistant coach go over there. Coach Beard, simply because he has a beard. It's just in just wholesome event after funny event after wholesome event after life lesson after life lesson. I just loved his like coaching technique. I loved some of the straight up lessons that came out of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I learned from Ted Lasso. Like, I felt like it was just a very meaningful experience watching it. And I can't wait for season 2.
I love his inspirational quotes. Like I kept wanting to like write them down because like whatever he just said is great. And I love like their like nod to Allen Iverson.
The practice.
The
practice rant is
oh my God. It's so good.
Somebody did it side by side.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just lined up. He did
so
a really good
line.
job.
Like,
yeah.
So good.
But you know, you want to, I mean, you obviously like him so much, but everything that happens in that show is, I don't know. You kind of want more. Like you want to see more and you want to see what happens next. And you just you root for him, you root for everybody. There's really like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really.
Even like the and I'm not going to spoil anything, but like we were talking about like, is there drama in it? It's like at basically every point that there was the potential for drama, Ted Lasso is just like, yeah, that's all right. Like, it's okay.
He embraced it.
Like exactly. He like didn't run towards it. He didn't let it run over him. He just dealt with it. And it like, I loved it.
I want to be more like Ted Lasso, and maybe that has something to do with it. Because when you watch it and you see the way that he handles situations, and no matter how difficult they are for him or what he's got to sacrifice to put other people up and to take care of them and make sure that they end up happy, he's incredibly selfless, and he proves it over and over again. With everybody in his life. And it and then you just find yourself being like, man, like, it's like a life lesson, or it's like, just showing you how to be like a good person, you know what I mean? On every level. And he does it so like effortlessly,
right?
That you just eat it up.
Yeah. And they absolutely destroyed the casting on that show.
Yes.
Everybody is cast perfect.
Yeah, they did.
Danny Rojas
is so good.
Football is life.
Oh my God. It's just so good.
But Roy Kent is perfect.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
The footballer wife chick.
Yeah.
Yep.
The beard, Nate the Great.
Yeah.
Dude, the girl,
the owner,
the girlfriend of like the star player, I forget her name. She's in that movie Palmer, which is another Apple TV exclusive. It's a movie though.
They don't pay us.
They don't pay us. But she plays a totally different character in that movie. And we saw Palmer before we saw Ted Lasso, and we were like, oh shit.
I know. I'm trying to think what else I've seen her, because I haven't seen that yet, but I've got the 7-day trial.
Palmer.
So I'm gonna
watch
run
Palmer
all
as soon as you can.
I really want Robin to watch Ted Lasso though, because I think she'll get a kick out of it.
I feel like anybody and everybody should check out Ted Lasso if they get the chance. It's definitely worth a 7-day free trial of Apple TV.
Yeah,
I would
sure.
certainly say that. Like, and if you want to wait, I guess the second season comes out in July. And I don't know how Apple TV works, if they just put shows out all at once or if it's week after week. I don't know how that works yet. But
well, let's use Ted Lasso to get to know each other on a new level a little bit and get to know the audience a little bit.
Wow.
You ready?
Yeah.
First concert, best concert.
Wow.
First concert, best concert.
All right, I got it.
Go ahead.
First concert was Anthrax and Iron Maiden.
Okay.
I was in 8th grade and I was at the top of the spectrum, just banging my little head
Wow.
off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why my mom let me go to this concert? We had no parents. Like, I think my mom, it was me and my buddy Tony and one other friend. I can't remember his name. I think my mom dropped us off, and then my friend Tony, his dad picked us up like before cell phones. Like, we just were like, we're meeting you at this corner at this time.
Yeah.
How was that possible?
I don't
How
know.
did we do that?
My kids
living very dangerously.
My kid's in 7th grade. I'll barely let her go get the mail.
Yeah.
Right.
Best concert, I'm going to say Prince.
I can't.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Prince on the Musicology tour. He played the hits. He played some other stuff. He ran around like just a bullet for 3 hours. Just crazy. Really good.
Nice.
First concert was Incubus.
Is that your first?
I think that's like the one that's sticking out as my first. Like, I think that was my first like big concert.
That popped into my head, but there is one other one.
What is
for
it?
me?
Okay. Incubus Morning View tour
with Hoobastank. Hoobastank
open for them.
The Reason.
And we were at the fucking what's the John that knocked down? That they knocked down the Spectrum. The fucking back wall.
Yep. We were at the very, very tip top.
Well, I remember I think we did have a few rows behind us.
Yeah.
But I remember being so high that like stuff from the rafters was kind of in my view. Like I was so high up that there was like lighting bars or something across the top that were just kind of like, you know what I mean? We were up there.
We were up there.
It was an incredible experience, but same kind of thing. Like, you know, Dad went to hang out with Uncle Larry in Upper Darby.
Right.
While we were, you know,
we
doing
were
the
just
concert,
chilling.
and then we're just like, I guess somehow he's going to find us out here when we get out of this concert.
When 20,000 people start walking out.
I don't remember how that happened.
And then it's like, oh, there's Dad in the van.
Yeah.
You know?
But best concert, man, that's tough because I've been to a bunch. I'm gonna have to go with I don't remember the name of it was like basically an all day like hip hop festival. No, never mind. Sorry. That's my second best. Best show that I've ever seen was the Flaming Lips.
Okay.
Best show that I've ever seen is the Flaming Lips. You don't even have to like their music. I personally don't really. I like a few of their songs for sure. But as far as live performance, there is no band on earth that puts that kind of work into it with the amount of money that they have. Like, they're not Kiss. Okay. Like Kiss. Yeah. I've never been to a Kiss concert, but I've seen all that shit. Right. You know what I mean? So like the Flaming Lips aren't necessarily doing that, but I've seen the Flaming Lips twice. The first time I saw them, it got rained out. We were outside at Festival Pier, and it got rained out halfway through the show. Now, the cool thing about the Flaming Lips is that they come out. Well, Wayne Coyne, the lead singer of the Flaming Lips, comes out in this huge human-size inflatable gerbil ball, and he rolls around in the crowd, and it's this cool thing. They had to like cancel the show halfway through, and you could see him, like, everybody was getting ready to leave, and it's literally torrential downpours. And you see him like running back, and he's talking to people, and he's like, you know, throwing his hands up, and he gets in the suit, in the ball. He's like, I'm rolling around in the mud with these people. As long as they're here, I'm going to roll around in the mud with them. And that's what he did. And it was the coolest thing ever. I ended up seeing him again like 2 or 3 months later in Atlantic City, and I saw the whole show. And I still to this day have never seen a stage production like that. It's a DIY. They build everything themselves. They have these 10-foot confetti cannons that they made themselves. Just really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Yeah.
I saw George Clinton and P-Funk at the festival pier, and that's a great little.
That is a really cool spot.
That's a great little spot.
The one I was gonna say was an all-day hip hop festival. I saw Wu-Tang there, a bunch of other really great acts. Eric B. Rakim was there. Yeah, that's a very close second. But if I had to pick like just one act, it'd be the Flaming Lips.
Yeah. All right. So my first concert was. You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
All for One.
Wow.
Were you in the band?
No. Keith Sweat.
Wow.
All for One. So I saw them, dude, and I think it was a good while after their hit because I saw them at King's Dominion.
Wow.
Like imagine being the band that ends up playing that venue.
Playing in King's Dominion. Well,
I mean, maybe
that's probably a pretty nice spot in Virginia.
I mean, Hershey's got a nice venue.
Hell yeah.
People play Hershey,
all the
big
time.
Bands.
Big name bands.
There's Hershey Arena, and then there's the bands that play in Hershey Park.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah.
There's two spots. Right. Yeah.
So,
but I don't know which one is more prestigious. I don't know. Is it Arena?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? When you're a kid, everything seems huge, right? It's just like it maybe was a big venue. I don't really think that it was.
Yeah.
But and it must not have been because I'll tell you what happened. It got rained out, so they started playing. It started raining, and they actually let us come into like this covered area, and we all got to meet them and shake their hands.
Wow.
So it must not have been. They wouldn't have done that for like 20,000 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big of a thing.
That's cool though.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know what my answer is going to be for best concert is the fucking little Walk the Moon show. To be that close to really a band that I like that much, like they're one of my favorites, and
we got to meet them.
To be that intimate, up close, and all that stuff.
Can't really see it, but
watch a full.
The picture's up there of us standing with them on the wall.
And then, I mean, that was just a great event altogether.
Yeah, it was.
But I haven't been to that many concerts.
That sucks for you, man.
I really haven't. I did, I've probably seen Octane more times than I've been to other concerts. Like, that's how many.
Yeah, I mean, man, I've seen Wu-Tang 3 times. That was... all 3 times were legendary. The first time they were 2 hours late. That was crazy. But yeah, all 3 times were crazy. Method Man and Redman, I've seen them multiple times. Opened for them once.
Red and Meth.
That was pretty nuts. Yeah. Anderson .Paak puts on a great show.
I would love to see Anderson.
The Roots put on a great show.
I'm sure. The Fish said Genesis.
Genesis was his first show.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And then U2 is his favorite.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I'm sure
I'm not a huge
good.
fan of U2, but I mean,
I'm sure they put on a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I've really never experienced when you hear about, like, what did they call their stage? The Claw? You know what I mean? When they were touring and it was some kind of big production. And every time that you've talked about the Flaming Lips, like, I would love to just go somewhere where it's not like, graphics in the background, and bands playing their music, like where you're really
they put on a production.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that.
Justin Timberlake did that. We saw him 2 years ago. He was great. Who else did that? Muse. We saw Muse, and they did a lot of really cool stuff. We saw them for their drones tour. So that was like two albums ago.
Yeah.
And they just had drones all over the Wells Fargo Center, just like flying around doing crazy stuff, hologram shit. It was wild.
Walk the Moon was in town, I think, because they opened for Muse, I think. Like when we saw them, they were touring with Muse.
Oh, really?
Like that would have been nuts.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
It's an interesting pairing.
Yeah. That'd be a fun show.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun show.
I don't know. The only other thing that kind of came close was I went to a Mayhem festival. Okay. And at that point, you remember when I was just into like the heaviest metal, and it's not even really that heavy when you look back at it. Some people would probably be like, "That's not fucking heavy metal," but like, I was big into like
I think about that shit all the time.
And Kill Switch Engage, and I was just like, "Dude, this is like the most meaningful."
So heavy.
Yeah. This is so deep. Like this
makes you think.
Yeah, for real. I was just
Thought
like,
metal.
Yeah, I was like for sure. Like, dude, this music is undeniable.
I miss my girlfriend.
I thought you were gonna say like Slayer or something, and you went My Bloody Valentine.
Well, I know, but that's
we loved it though. Like we both did. Thrice, we went to go see Thrice.
Thrice was awesome.
That was probably like my first like real interaction with like a mosh pit type scenario in a tight area. I don't even remember where we saw them at, but that was an intense show. Just because neither one of us really wanted to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And that seemed like that was what was happening everywhere around us. We were like 17.
Yeah.
I've been to Metallica shows. I've been to Suicidal Tendencies, Queensryche.
Yeah.
The craziest mosh pit I've ever seen was at the Beastie Boys.
Really?
They did the Lollapalooza one year with Smashing Pumpkins down at FDR Park.
Okay. Wow. That'd have been awesome.
That mosh pit was crazy.
I bet.
Yeah. Dude, the Mayhem Fest, I think for me, I've never been to a festival before. So it was kind of nuts that just like, it was sponsored by Rockstar and there was like free Rockstar everywhere. So you could I was all hopped up on who knows what kind of energy drink. And even though I was not big fans and really didn't know their music that well, I saw, Kill Switch Engage. I met the guitarist, like, cause he nobody really knew really knew those people, I guess. And they were playing side stages. And I just like caught the guy like walking through the crowd, like after the show. And I was like, can I get a picture? And he was like, yeah. And I took it with my BlackBerry. You couldn't even see yourself when you were taking a picture.
Yeah.
That's how long ago it was. They had little mirrors on the back of the phone to kind of help you have an idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you were going to be in the camera view. That's crazy.
They didn't figure out the front facing camera yet.
No, I don't think that technology was out.
God.
But dude, I saw Slayer and Marilyn Manson there.
Wow.
And Marilyn Manson's show was ridiculous.
I bet they're crazy.
I don't know any of the music.
Yeah.
Really. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Beautiful People's it.
Yeah.
But like their
Oh.
sound and how fucking hard it was.
Yeah.
And he's weird, man. He just like kept messing with the bassist. He'd go over and just like dump water out on him or just like walk over and kick him like he was doing some kind of like dominatrix type thing.
Yeah,
just did whatever he wanted to him and he just took it. It was wild.
I remember the first like festival thing I went to. We were still in high school. I went to Lollapalooza. Didn't you go with me?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been to one.
So that was the year that Incubus was there. Audio Slave was there. That was the first year that they were even together. And that was awesome seeing Audio Slave. They hadn't even like toured yet. Like Cochise like just came out. But so all that was really cool. But the big thing that happened to me there was I saw Jurassic 5 on the side stage. They put on one of the best sets of hip hop that I've ever seen. And I got to meet them afterwards, which was awesome. Now, this is back when I had shoulder length hair. Yeah. Believe it or not, I had shoulder length hair and just hemp necklaces. I was like super hippie. Got to meet J5 and then saw MC Supernatural, which was like a life-changing event as well. That was a really cool thing.
Is it the freestyle dude?
Yep. MC Supernatural was ridiculous.
Yo, did we see him at the Kanye John?
Yeah, yep. He was there too.
Just pulling stuff out of the
out of the crowd.
Up in the crowd.
Yeah, he would just have people hold things up in the air and he would just point it out and rap about it and then tie it together with this thing and then tie it together with this thing.
Grab somebody's
driver's license and rap about their name and whatever. And then he did the thing where he would turn around and he'd be a different rapper. And he would just like do different impressions of different rappers. So he would turn around and he'd be Biggie. He'd turn around and be Tupac. He was really cool. He was really cool.
Oh, Russ checking in. He said that was an amazing show.
Oh, and Jurassic 5 too. Yeah.
Yep. I completely forgot about that when I went to Grand Rapids and Weezer was playing in town and they're like, this is the biggest thing that happens in Grand Rapids. Yeah. And I was like, cool. So like I went on my phone and I found a ticket for like $14.
Wow.
And you paid too much.
Dude, so I'm not I don't go out of my way. I'm not a Weezer fan, but I'm like, do I just go back to my hotel room or do I like go enjoy something for $15 or whatever, right? So I went to the show and I sat there with like the biggest effing glass of beer ever. Like they were pretty much serving like 64-ounce Labatt Blues or something like that, like just these giant cups. And I'm sitting there drinking it. And this show started, the Pixies opened, which I didn't like any of it except for that one song where I'm like, Fight Club.
Yeah.
And then like everything else was just like noise to me.
Yeah.
For whatever. And I feel bad saying that because I know a lot of people probably really
That's
like
how
them,
the Flaming Lips are.
But
yeah, no, it's noise.
I didn't realize it, but I know I sang every effing word to every Weezer song.
Wow.
I do not own a Weezer album. I've never asked my Amazon lady to play.
They do the hits. They're at that stage now.
I know, but it was such a mind F for me because I'm like, I know every one of these songs and I sang along to it fully.
Yeah.
It sounded good. It was fun. I had fun. I was by myself and whatever, you know.
They found the chemical equation of making hits. Like,
yeah, right.
And like, you love them or hate them. Like, I'm mediocre. I'm lukewarm with Weezer.
Do you have a problem with Weezer?
And
I got lots of problems.
Fish said, "Oh no, you said Weezer."
And Russ, he made a correction. He said it was Jane's Addiction, which yes, that is the show I was at.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
There, yeah.
I love Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I don't know if it's still the case, but back then Lollapalooza was their thing.
Perry Farrell's
thing.
That's
Right.
Yep.
Right. He like brought it back or made it a thing, or I don't know.
Even when he was with Porno for Pyros, he was
the Lollapalooza. Yeah.
What are we drinking next?
I was about to say, you want to do yours or you want to do mine?
That beer was really good too, by the way.
I think mine
It's
is
interesting.
Mine's pretty high up there, like 17%. Let's do mine because it's smaller.
Okay.
This Wrong Crowd was good too. It was interesting.
I think there's a yeast drawn in there that I don't like. I don't know if it says what it is, but
cold brew coffee was good in here.
I'm looking at the screen and it's not going to pop up on my screen for like another 12 seconds.
Yeah.
But I got the Utopia's barrel aged worldwide stout. So Taylor has no clue.
Wow, Steve, you killed that. It looks great on the screen.
I did for going in blind.
About 12 seconds too.
So Utopia's is a beer that Sam Adams makes that they do every 2 years, every 3 years. But it's just one of these really hard to get. It's 22%.
Oh, wow.
It's almost like a sherry. And what Dogfish Head did is they aged their stout in the barrels that used to hold the Utopias.
So I don't know if you know, Taylor, but Dogfish Head merged, was bought out by Sam. Pretty much bought out.
Sam Adams.
Okay. By Sam Adams. So this is kind of like, I guess after the purchase, or who knows when it actually happened, but this was kind of like cool that they did a collab. See that bottle there? Yeah. That's the Utopia's bottle. It comes out in this like crazy looking copper cask thing. I don't know exactly what to call it.
Okay.
But it's really fancy. There's like a little window that opens up and there's a picture of Sam Adams in there. And
oh, really?
Yeah, it's just it's almost, people say it's like sipping a liquor more than it's really like a beer. You said sherry. I don't really know what that is either, but
it's a liquor.
So this is aged in that barrel. So I mean, worldwide stout is already like a $40 4-pack.
Yeah.
Does all their bottles have these cool little indicators on the side of what it goes with?
Dogfish might.
Dogfish.
I didn't even look at that. Let me take a peek at that.
Yeah, it's cool.
But who knows? Because like I don't know if it's on the side
temperature and everything. It's got a whole bunch of information on there that could be useful.
Yeah, shout out Fish. That was $50.
This was?
No, this wasn't that much. I didn't pay that much.
Was that like
no,
I think they're
the
probably,
Utopias might be.
Yeah, Utopias is usually like $200-300 a bottle.
Yeah.
This is just beer that they age in the bottle that the Utopia was in.
Yeah. So
okay, all right. So this just has like Utopia remnants.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good descriptor.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's on like Sequench. Oh man, that's got all kinds of
really good.
There's a lot going on there.
It's really good.
Man. Like I feel like I'd have to sit for like 15 minutes to try and figure out what exactly.
Well, while we're doing that, we have a big question to go over.
We do have a big question
on Might Be News.
We did.
And I'm also like,
I tried to tease it on my stories because I couldn't post a poll on Facebook or Instagram. I could only do it in my stories.
You also didn't ask me like how I got into craft beer, and I'm like a guest on this show, and that's what you do with all your guests. And I don't know if I'm okay with you breaking that tradition.
Yeah, we know how you got into craft beer.
I know we do always ask that to our guests when they're first time. I guess I was so excited to just talk and bullshit.
This is how I got into craft beer.
Well, no, to be fair. really the first time, at least to my knowledge, was when John was on news one time, and he brought Hetty Topper.
Yeah, we brought Hetty Topper and
Bourbon
Hayes
County and
County.
Hayes.
Yeah, and your dad was there.
Yep.
And we did that on news. I remember him sipping on that Bourbon County, being like, "Yeah, that's some shit."
Yeah.
But I think Taylor and Kev almost ran out of the room.
Yeah. If I remember correct, you're right about that. And I don't think it was that long after that this show started.
Yeah, I agree.
Or at least was
wasn't
like conceived, you know, like, and yeah, like we were talking about it recently, that like the whole dynamic of my character, so to speak, on this show has changed.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I was the foul-mouthed producer who hated all the beer that we were drinking. And then
tastes like feet.
Yeah, it tastes like this shit tastes like armpits. And like eventually, like you made it a point of introducing me to beers that you thought I would like, but also that were like outside of the box a little bit for what you thought my palate could handle. So like for the first, we used to do seasons here, and we're not doing that anymore. But like season 1 of Might Be Brews was me being like very aggressively negative about just about everything. And I feel like season 2, you could definitely see like an improvement as far as like how my reaction to some of them. And like even I think 2 years ago, I wouldn't have never consider drinking something like this Utopia thing or whatever it is, and definitely not the coffee one. Like I would have never been able to handle that. You know, so it's pretty cool.
But it's neat though that like now it's very easy to like go out to a brewery with you, and you know what you like, you know the styles that you like. You know what I mean? You don't order yourself a double IPA, you go get a Pilsner, mostly sours, and
Fish just asked in the chat, what was my gateway brew? That's the Sequench, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say Sequench really, I was like, okay.
Changed your mind about.
I don't have to drink IPAs to be into craft beer, right? Like I don't have to, it doesn't have to be that. It can be a sour. And once I realized that there was more sours than Sequench, I realized that this is a thing. I could get into this,
So one of the main reasons we wanted to do tonight is now that your maturity into craft beer is happened, you're actually fired. we're actually never having you on again. This is it. So
I knew it. Cheers to everyone. I can't believe it's been a long run. It's been a good run. No, but like, I mean, it's been wild. I haven't been on this show in so long, it feels like. And so like when it kind of worked out this way, it was like, oh yeah, like I can't wait to be on the show. Cause I was supposed to be on a few shows ago when you were here. Yeah. And I was injured and I sat out. I laid out. But like, and then I was out of town the last time you were here. Yeah. So
it's kind of,
here we are.
I think it was nice when we started doing the StreamYard stuff and talking with people that it was like, all right, well, we're all kind of doing it from home and this and that. And then it's like, well, maybe we can, maybe it presents a bit better if there's less people on the screen, and just a lot of things kind of just naturally progressed. And then, you really just have taken off in the best way on YouTube. Just the content that you're putting out, the videos are just, they're so much fun to watch. I usually put my hand over the left side of the screen so I don't see Jackie. But, the videos are pretty good otherwise.
Thank you.
It's fun because there's like, there's a lot of stuff out there that I didn't even know about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know all the trailers that are coming out. Right. And then I find out about them through you. And then it's like, you see stuff and you're like, man, that was maybe there was an Easter egg or something in there. And then it's always fun to hear you guys talk about it and kind of dissect about how you feel about it. Or like, when you see somebody, you're like, I recognize them. That Jackie's going to be like, well, that's the fucking lady.
Exactly. Or she'll know it before the show's over.
Yeah.
This week has been one of the best weeks I've had in a little while, as far as like the way that we've been doing this. I brought back Yesterday in 5 Minutes this week. Each of the YouTube shows are going to be a weekly thing now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Yesterday in 5 Minutes on Tuesdays and Review or Preview on Thursdays. And I'm really excited about both of those shows because Review or Preview is Jackie and I are very passionate about movies and entertainment.
Yeah.
And we love watching new stuff, and we get, because of Might Be News and Review or Preview or whatever, I've heard from so many people like, oh, I need something to watch, can you recommend something?
Yeah.
Like, or, oh, I was waiting to hear what you thought of that.
Yep.
Or something like that. And it's just always so cool to hear that. And so that show is kind of a no-brainer for us, and I wanted to get Jackie involved in the videos somehow, and that was a perfect way to do that. And bringing back Yesterday in 5 Minutes was so important for me personally because it kind of just made me feel like I was getting stuff off my chest, I guess. Like, it's kind of a free flowing thing that I just kind of write out, and I never really know how it's going to work out on camera, but it just does.
There's a lot of stuff that you're passionate about, and I think it can be just very good. Like, you've always been a good storyteller. You present things well and describe things and lay it out in a very good way. So, like, I don't know, for you to have that ability to, like, you know, feel passionate about something and then be able to also just put it out there on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not only entertaining, it's also like learning stuff. Like, I didn't know a lot of the stuff that you talk about on news, and I'm finding out for the first time, or at least, like, you know, if you see a headline on your phone, but then you get to actually watch news and get a little bit deeper in there. And you do a good job of, like, you know, I don't have to read through, you know, 1,000 words from, you know, somebody who's writing an online article, you know what I mean? You can actually just, hey, you pick out the parts that are important.
Yeah.
And you tell the story of, like, this is what's going on. This is why it's important. This is what's happening. This is what's probably going to happen or did happen.
Yeah. This is why you should care.
Yeah.
You know,
so it works.
There's a lot of crazy shit going on out there these days. And I can't make sense of all of it, but I'm going to do my best to try once a week.
Make sure you guys are subscribed and look it up on YouTube. But I think we do have to get to
the big question.
Get to the big question.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess since it was my question,
that's your cue.
I've got to ask it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We were hanging out over the weekend and I brought it up, and I'm going to ask the people out there. I really want some opinions here. Has the Marvel universe surpassed the Star Wars universe?
And that's, dude, I've thought about it a lot. It's a big question because
it's a very big question.
It's controversial.
Yes, very well put. Immediately, I would have said Star Wars.
You would say no. Marvel has not surpassed the Star Wars universe.
Yes, but over the last couple years, like, I was not into Marvel whatsoever until you kept pushing me for Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so fucking
good, man. It's so good.
And then, I don't know, for whatever reason, I think I watched you said,
have you seen all of them now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said look, like, it's crazy because Ragnarok goes right into Infinity
War. Yeah.
And then I started realizing just how much they went into each other. And I start watching more and more movies and going back, and Captain Marvel and Civil War and all of these things. We started watching WandaVision, and I'm like, I need to go find out more about Wanda. And I go back and watch Age of Ultron and, like, all of that stuff. So it's such a hard thing, but at the same time, it's crazy for me. I'm still, like, slightly undecided, but I'm definitely leaning towards Star Wars, because when I started taking the deep dive into the Clone Wars and all of this backstory and all of these things, so not only the familiarity with the movies, with the Mandalorian, the show, all of these things, but how deep that story goes and how well they keep just producing more content. For me, Star Wars wins still, where, you know, they're able to do things like Rogue One, where there's like this basis of the story, this universe, and they're able to play things out, and nothing's like, I don't know, like, you know, I don't know exactly how to say it. Like, you know, you've got all of these completely different storylines, right, in the Marvel universe, and they slightly intertwine with each other, and it's done very well.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's like, oh, well, that was a stretch, or that's bullshit. It's done well, but, you know, there's like this giant war that happened, and I feel like it's a shorter timeline in Star Wars, kind of.
Okay.
That, like, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but like, it's all kind of about one generic thing, and it's amazing how much they're able to pull out of it and be incredible content.
The depth of the universe.
Yeah.
Of Star Wars.
Is great.
I'm going Marvel 1000% on this question.
Wow.
Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
I think, and it's not Star Wars' fault that it started when it did, when the technology was literally brand new, right? Like that nothing had ever been done like Star Wars before, which is why it was so iconic, So I can't like hold it against it, but it is what it is, right? They started the Skywalker saga literally in the middle of it.
What's up, Chris?
And then they went backwards. And then the backwards movies, for what they are, suck. I mean, like, they just do.
Yeah.
There's parts that are good. People will argue that they are good. And I think that they're delusional because they just love Star Wars that much. And that's fine. But taking them for what they are, they're borderline trash. They shouldn't be, and I wish they weren't. The new movies started out good, fizzled hard in the second one.
Yeah.
And the third one was good, not great. I could and would and have gone back and watched random Marvel movies. I will go back and watch the first Iron Man movie and think it was just as great as it's a great movie. The first Captain America movie, the third Iron Man movie. Like, I can go back or I can go all the way up. There's so many now, right? Just sheer amount of content.
22 or 23?
Something like that.
Movies.
Movies. Like, and never mind WandaVision or how good Falcon and the Winter Soldier was. Like, they just seem to have it all the way together, and they've had it all the way together since it was conceived. Like, as soon as Nick Fury appeared and they was like, yeah, I'm building a team, you were like, okay, this is going to be great. And think about every time they put out an Avengers movie. Think about that. Every time they did it, it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm not just talking about the amount of characters. I'm not just talking about how good the movie was. I'm talking about the hype. I'm talking about, like, this was the biggest crossover event ever. And then Age of Ultron comes out. This was the biggest crossover event ever. And then Infinity War comes out. And it was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Marvel has done it right 100% of the time, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see where it's going, because, like, as characters leave the universe, as things change, and that's the other thing. We're just talking about movies and TV shows. There's decades of comics based on these guys.
Yeah.
And whereas Star Wars, there's decades of books, and there's now some comics, made by Marvel that may or may not be canon. The books aren't. The majority of the books aren't canon. You ask anybody, and super Star Wars fans are like, "Oh my God, it has to be canon." but they're not. When Disney acquired it, they came out and was like, yeah, all those books, they don't matter.
And that definitely confuses things.
It changes everything. Star Wars dropped the ball with Boba Fett. Think about how awesome Boba Fett was in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And think about how he didn't do anything but stand there in the movies. That sucks. Looking back on it, like there's only one answer to this question in my book, where it's just like, and again, part of it's not Star Wars' fault that it started in the 70s. Like that's just the way it is. Maybe they couldn't make Boba Fett do. I mean, obviously they couldn't make Boba Fett do what he did in The Mandalorian, but they could have made him do
something.
So I don't know, but you look at it and like the comics are canon. You know what I mean? Like those comics that they matter. Those stories get translated into the movies, even if they take liberties. Obviously, everything changes, but like they matter. And I think that Star Wars, it's only they cut a lot of their content off by doing that.
What was the Star Wars movie hit rate? So they have the 9 movies of the saga,
right?
They have Rogue One, the Han Solo story. Did I miss a movie? 9, 10, 11?
No, that's it.
How many of those are good movies? I will say the first 3.
For sure.
I will say the 7.
Yep.
I might give you a 9.
I'd give you 9. Not 8.
Not 8.
And I loved Rogue One and Han Solo.
Okay, so there's 7.
Yep.
So there's 7 good movies.
7 really good movies. Yeah.
How many of the Marvel 22 are good?
Mario said you left out the Christmas special.
We'll get there. We'll get to the Christmas special.
20, at least 20.
How many Marvel will I say are not good movies? Thor: The Dark World, I did not like.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not a huge Ultron fan.
Me neither.
It's not bad, but I won't say it's up to the quality of the other ones.
Nope. I like the first one better than the second one.
I personally am not an Ant-Man guy. I'm not saying they're bad. They're just not my favorite.
Yep.
Other than that, what am I saying is a bad movie?
It's tough. There's bad parts.
There's bad parts.
I don't think there's any bad movies, really. Like, even Ultron. I'm like, Ultron was the worst part of that movie because he's not supposed to be funny at all.
Yeah.
But the movie was decent. The action was good. Like, the story was good.
And it's all important. Everything that happens
means something.
Later.
Yes. They revisit it
in a big way.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that this has come up in my mind is the wife and I have gone on the chronological journey.
Okay.
We watched all of them in
order.
Timeline,
not
starting with
date, right?
Correct.
Right.
Starting with Captain America,
okay,
Captain Marvel, Iron Man 1. We are up to Endgame.
Oh wow! So you're at the end.
So we got to watch Endgame. Or I'm sorry, we're at Infinity War.
Okay.
We have to watch Infinity War.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
We cheated a little bit.
Okay.
We put Ant-Man and the Wasp before
okay.
Infinity War.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Even though the end of the bonus
it flows.
Scene is after the snap, but
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's the only thing that matters.
It's the only thing that's time sensitive in that.
Right.
And I want to watch Infinity War into Endgame.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to split that up. I want to watch that as one thing.
That was one of the most painful things in cinematic history when they split that in two and everybody basically dies and then that's the end of the movie. And you're just like, I have to leave and not watch the next movie.
You guys both know my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people in the chat, Fish knows my wife. I don't know if I've ever seen her as angry as she was when those credits started to play after those people were turned to ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not ending now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She was angry.
Yeah. So was Jackie. So was I.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Well, I mean, all right. I'm a big boy, right? I'm not new to this Marvel shit. Like I knew that there was going to be a way to reverse the snap and da 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 da. But see, that's the thing. Even though I knew how it was going to end to some degree, it still meant something, and it still made me feel that way. Like their level of storytelling. If you want to just drop Star Wars and compare them to DC in comparison, like as far as like storytelling, there's no comparison, right? But then like for Star Wars, it's like the story is there, but it's so mixed up, right? Like you have to start with the shittiest movies first to get to the good stuff if you want to do it in chronological order. I basically skip the first 2 movies, and if you do that every time,
yes, I can't.
I'll watch the last 10 minutes of episode 1 because of the lightsaber fight.
That's
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul is the hardest.
The hardest. Yes, the hardest.
And that's also the best music of the entire saga.
1000%. Except for like the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight at the end of episode 3. But yes, the last 10 minutes of episode 1 is like legendary.
And the pod races are cool.
The pod races was cool too. And then episode 2 was like, all right, cool. There's a huge war at the end. That's pretty neat. Mace Windu's dope.
It's interesting the way that you guys are describing it, because to me, when I thought about the question, I just thought about how the story and the characters feel to me. And to me, I care more about the Star Wars people than I do the superheroes. For me, there's something that's slightly more.
They're mortal.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's something like that. I mean, if you think about it, Jedis are superheroes.
Correct. Yep.
They have superpowers. They're everybody's human like for the most part.
It's always a hopeless situation. Well, I shouldn't say hopeless, but like they're always the underdogs.
Yeah.
Whereas the superheroes kind of
But to me, when I took a deep dive into Star Wars and was like just overcome with like how crazy the storyline really was, and how much like, Anakin was with Obi-Wan, was with Ahsoka, everything that happened and led up to these big moments, for whatever reason, the wow factor to the story and all of the deep stories in Star Wars mean more to me than Marvel. But when you make the argument of who's got better movies, I would rather watch a Marvel movie. I'm more entertained, and they do a better job making movies in the MCU than they did with Star Wars. But everything else about the characters and storylines resonate more with me for whatever reason in Star Wars.
I agree with that. I agree that I feel more attached to the characters in Star Wars.
Yep.
How much of that is because of when it came out and our youth and how we gravitate towards things from our youth?
That has to be a huge part of it.
I will tell you right now, there won't be better music made in my mind in the future than has been in the past. Most people are probably like that. The music that you grew up with, your late middle school, high school, a little bit after middle school, is probably going to be your favorite music forever. I'm not going to say you're not going to like a song or two that came out today.
Sure.
But you're always going to go back to that music.
Right.
I always go back to the 90s music. That's what I go back to, or late 80s music. Is that same thing happening?
It could be, because like the way that you say that, it's like, all right, well, let me look back at my life. And I was always into superheroes more than I was into Star Wars. I just was. For me, it was X-Men. So like these characters in the MCU were pretty much new to me. Like I never read the Thor comics. I wasn't into them. Iron Man, I had a couple. Captain America, no way.
Doesn't that make you frustrated that they nailed the Avenger side of Marvel so well, and that the X-Men movies just to me never seem to like?
Dude, Phase 6, I'm telling you.
Well, it's
Phase 6. There will be X-Men. in the MCU.
It's
Like they haven't said that, but if that doesn't happen, like they're crazy because they own them now.
that was all money stuff.
It was all money
It was
stuff.
all money stuff.
Fox did it, and hey, they did nail it to a degree. Like the worst thing they did was in my opinion, was the relationship between Wolverine and Sabretooth. That was fucking a failure. But like other than that, like they got the story pretty good.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy how well done the MCU was.
They're so good.
Yeah,
they're so good. And I mean,
John Favreau is a fucking beast,
dude. If John Favreau and what's the other dude's name?
Kevin Feige.
Who?
No. For Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
If those two came out and like, I've never been in one to support like a reboot of Star Wars, but like if they came out and just did everything from now on with them, and made like a cohesive story over the next 10 years, 20 years, like they're doing with the MCU, it would be fire. I know it would.
Do you think they're going to reboot like Return of the Jedi?
No,
that stuff? Or are you just
I don't
saying,
think no. And they haven't said that.
Yeah.
No,
but there's like, I think there's a really good opportunity here, and I would love to see Sebastian Stan get casted. But if when Luke shows up in Mandalorian,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry for anybody who's like hasn't watched it yet, but there's
there's
an opportunity there.
Yeah,
to take that storyline, because what all happened, in that whole era there,
him building the temple and trying to train new Jedi.
Yeah.
So everything that I've heard is that they're basically starting over, like a new story.
Nothing with the Skywalker.
Correct. That's
which I'm fine with.
Yeah. I'm cool with it. I would also like, after having this conversation, I am more in support now than I've ever been of them doing a reboot. Like, if to just follow me here, I'm not saying that the other movies would be are obsolete by any means, but like, we know more now than they knew then.
Yeah,
about the story.
Sure.
So, like, in other words, how cool we've talked about this so many times, John. How cool would episode 1 through 3 be if Ahsoka was in it?
Yeah.
How cool would that be? And why wouldn't they want to do something like that? Like,
sure.
A, it would make more sense. B, like Ahsoka is such a dope character that unless you've watched the cartoon, you've only seen one episode of her in The Mandalorian.
And do you care that if it's a movie, or are they going to nail it with Obi-Wan and Anakin?
The show coming up? I don't know. I have to see. Like, I'm very excited for it.
They killed it with The Mandalorian. So can they?
The Mandalorian is better than WandaVision and Winter Soldier, Falcon put together.
Shout out!
I would. There's no way.
Together,
The Mandalorian to me, and this is where, like, when I started thinking about Mandalorian, that was when this question became hard for me, because that to me is how good The Mandalorian is.
Mandalorian is great.
To me, it's the best thing about Star Wars. It really is. After the second season, I'm comfortable saying that. Like, after the first season, it's like, this is so badass. I love it, and I want more of it. The second season delivered in a big way. Like, with Ahsoka, with Bill Burr's performance, with there's so much to it. Even Pedro Pascal, and with the way that they ended it, and like everything, Boba Fett, like everything about it is the best thing about Star Wars to me. Like, it just is.
Yeah, I agree.
How crazy is it that Jon Favreau plays that such a huge role in the Star Wars Mandalorian, getting all that stuff going, and he's like,
and MCU
paid.
Yeah, but like, there's something about the way that he thinks ahead and designs things. Like when you watch that behind the scenes or behind the story of like even Elf, Where he was just like, these are my criteria for making it a hit. Like, it's got to be timeless, it's got to be for all audiences, it's got to be this and that. Like, he's got this checklist of like,
he's got it.
Weezer making a song.
Right. He's got the chemical equation. He does.
Shout out Anthony Mackie. Got a $10 million payday for being Captain America and Captain America 4.
I can't wait for that.
It was so cool.
It was
to
really
see
good.
it happen. I have to say that I hate the white thing that comes up to his ears. Up his neck to his ears in his costume.
Not
like
a fan.
Everything else is awesome.
Yeah.
But for some reason, every time I see it, I'm just like, I don't like it. Like,
I also really hope that they don't call the Winter Soldier the White Wolf moving forward. I just like Winter Soldier so much better than White Wolf.
They did a good job with his character. It was really cool to see like his little backstory there and how he's like, that person that's trying to be better all the time.
To make amends. I really liked that show a lot.
I love the touch at the end of them changing the end title board to Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
So good.
So easy.
And I can't wait for Loki. I'm really excited for Loki.
I am too.
I'm really excited for Loki. Like, Disney Plus started out kind of weak, and then it got overpowered so fast.
Yep.
Like, it's because both Star Wars and Disney are there, or Marvel's there. It just makes it so much easier.
Are you going to see Black Widow in the theater, or are you going to pay the extra $30 to watch it on Disney Plus?
Watch it on Disney Plus.
Depends. I'll probably watch it on Disney Plus. I'll probably watch it on cinema and not pay anything. If we're being honest.
Bootlegs.
They don't pay us. You don't pay them.
Actually.
I don't pay them. Dude, I tried Ted Lasso
incoming.
that way. I tried Ted Lasso doing like the free stream Jones.
Oh,
online.
not working.
And it just, I got through like a couple episodes and then it was just like nonstop. And I was like, I got to just get this fucking.
Well, now that you're done with Ted Lasso and you still have some time left on your trial, right?
Yeah.
I would recommend Palmer ASAP.
Okay.
That's a movie.
Yep. I remember the preview.
The morning show.
I watched like the first episode of that on a plane. For some reason, it was on the airplane, and I was like, "This is cool."
I
was into
good.
it, but I want to get back into it.
Good, yeah.
So just that first episode of watching everybody kind of, figure out what the story's going to be about. I was like, man, I got to watch more of these.
That shit. You want to talk about the Me Too stuff? Yeah. That's all that show's about. It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. And you like wonder like how many places are going through this stuff and like the beer stuff. Yeah, it shines a light.
Yeah, the way you guys were talking about
everywhere, man. It's happening everywhere.
The way you guys were talking about it on your shows, you know what I mean? I think did you do? It wasn't review.
Yeah, it was on news. Yeah,
you guys were doing. Reviewing all the Disney or the Apple Plus or whatever.
Yeah, we spent a solid week on it. I have it for a year for free, and we're gonna get our use out of it.
But there's a lot of good looking stuff on there. So,
bro, for the kids. I think it's called Tiny Planet or Tiny World or Small World. And it's like one of the most impressive nature shows I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how they got the fucking footage they got for the show.
Nice.
But they got cameras like inside of flowers and stuff. I don't understand, but it's very cool.
Oh, is that where they had the special cameras?
I don't know what they did.
I might have seen some. I don't know. I saw
bananas.
But that was on Apple?
Yep. Okay. And it's like each episode I think is like a different like ecosystem. So like one was like the jungle and like it was just like they were in the rainforest and they were just like going over. They focus on the small animals. Like it's they smoke, so some insects, rodents, birds, stuff like that. But like the way that they shoot it is really fascinating.
Because there was some new stuff on Disney Plus that was like shot with like new camera technology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was National Geographic, I guess.
I've never seen anything like this.
I watched some of that with the kids and they like that stuff. But
yeah. I forget what it's called, Tiny Planet or something like that.
All right.
You'll like it.
Are we cracking open this last John? Or are we?
Oh, we got another beer?
We can.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. I got off tomorrow, bitches.
I'm not worried about time tonight. It's a crossover event. Oh my God, it's in a box.
It's in a box. It's got to be good.
Oh my God, I'm not going to bed tonight.
Bourbon County.
I do have to work tomorrow.
This is,
but I don't have to edit this episode.
Yeah. In collaboration with our friends at Old Forester in Louisville, Kentucky. This is the
box
Goose
edition
Island birthday. No, they put out a bunch of them. This is aged 11 years or in 11 year. I don't think the actual stout's in there for 11 years.
No, the whiskey was in there for 11
Yeah,
years.
it's an 11-year John.
Wow.
There's not wax on this bottle, is there?
Negative.
Good.
Would you mind opening it?
Can we stop with the wax, people? By the way,
Does it really help?
no, does nothing.
It's just decorative.
It's just decorative, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Just ruined that box. I probably could have sold it on eBay. Somebody would have paid $5 for that.
Put a fucking evil genius in there. Trash.
I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to stand up against that worldwide stout.
It's a good battle.
Utopes.
Definitely
Steve.
more booze on the nose.
So, Steve, what is your clear answer to that question? Did you say?
Yeah,
I did not say, but I will say that I would go Marvel.
You would?
I would go Marvel.
It's interesting because I could change my mind if you say who made better quality of movies. I would say that, and then if you think about it, what are we talking about? Fucking movies. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird the way that I took it in my mind, that I was like, well, the fucking characters.
Well, no.
Like,
there's
you
no
take it how
wrong
you wanna
answer to
take
this.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer to this.
I very specifically worded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit more if there's any more. I wasn't
just
sure.
gonna have to drive
It's been a while
a
since
few
I've
minutes.
shared with two people. I feel like every time I poured beer tonight, I was like, that's not enough, but I don't know how much is left.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't want to go too crazy because I'm
You're driving.
John's driving tonight.
It's a windy road home.
It's not bad.
Mr.
No,
Steve
it's not
is drinking tonight. So the Utopias, when we drank it, it had an alcohol heat,
Yeah.
but not an alcohol burn to me, which I found kind of weird. Like I felt the heat, but I didn't feel that back of the throat alcohol burn.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm curious to see what it does when it warms up a little bit. It's very good, but after just having that Utopias,
Yeah, this is trash compared to that.
I think the Utopias
Just kidding. Just kidding.
this is very good. The Utopias was like perfectly rounded. I feel like there's like a heat that hits you, there's a drop off, and then you get like that smooth, chocolatey at the end. But there is like this missing link in the middle here that was there with the Utopia that I almost feel like a little bit of warmth might bring it back. You know what I mean? Or help level things, but maybe it just needs some more time to age. This is a 2020. You know what I mean?
It's got a lot of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I got was that alcohol sweetness to it. It's not bad.
No, it's good. It's just
I feel like I like the nose of this one more than the other one, but I like the taste of the Utopia better. Like this one has like a really nice aroma to it.
it's got good flavor. It just
It does. No, it
doesn't-
does.
It doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, I like the other one, like you said, was like perfectly rounded. Like there was no burn, there was no like, it was just like all flavor.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more rugged, but it's not as high APV, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know
I
which
think
one's the first.
I don't know. I'll take a
Well, this one says it's 14.6.
Woo!
What's this one?
Woo!
17.3.
Wow. So the Utopias, yeah, this one has it all the way around because it's like a bit higher APV, but it doesn't taste like it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot more smooth. I don't know what the age is on that. How long have you had that? A couple years?
Maybe
This is a 2020?
2 years.
Oh, does it say 2020 on it?
Yeah.
All right,
This is
Did
2020.
I get that during the pandemic?
maybe.
Guess so.
Must have.
I saw it at the Rehoboth store, but it was like literally $45 or something for the 4-pack, and I'm like, man.
I think I got it on the way home from the beach. So yeah, it is 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really
Where'd you
good
get
beer. Both of them are really good.
Did you go to the brewery?
We went to the brewery, but I just grabbed to go.
Okay.
No, we didn't go to the brewery. We went to the brew pub in Rehoboth.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
We were in Ocean City, and then on the way back, we hit Rehoboth.
Nice.
Washington up 100-73. So it looks like the Washington Wizards will be the Sixers' first round opponent.
Oh, yeah? Good old Russell Westbrook. That's good. The Sixers match up better against them, I think.
I don't feel like watching TJ McConnell be a pest for 5 games.
Hopefully it's just 5 games. Hopefully. We'll see.
That's what Sixers and 5.
Is that what you're saying?
Let's go. Sixers and 5.
Wow. You hit the air horn for that? Yeah, Sixers and 5. Yeah, I can go with that. I've been saying Sixers and 6 like every day at work for the past like 2 weeks. Just like Sixers and 6. Don't worry about it. Sixers and 6. It doesn't matter who it is. Sixers and 6.
Looks like the Wells Fargo will be full capacity for the second round.
Wow, that's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. Better make it there.
You want to know how much Sixers I've watched?
How much?
I saw like maybe 2 or 3 clips on Facebook.
Wow.
And was like, they keep showing Dwight Howard get up off the bench and like cheer for something.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard's on the team. Like, that's how much I care.
He's a Wendy's Frosty Freeze Out fan.
I was about to say.
He loves the Frosty Freeze Out.
He like loses his mind for the Wendy's Frosty Freeze Out.
Fish going Sixers and 4.
Yeah.
Sweep them right out of here.
Yeah, wow.
Get the broom.
John, we got to go to a game that'll change your whole life.
Look, I'm sure, man. The little bit that I see, like,
it changed me. I wasn't watching them before I went.
I love Embiid. You know what I mean?
They're
like,
great.
There's a lot of really cool things that I like. I forget all the time that Doc Rivers is the coach. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he's awesome.
It's not even on my radar.
Why did he not get any Coach of the Year love?
It really makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense.
He should have won.
No, right, but he should be in the top 3, in my opinion. I would say. I mean, it's kind of an embarrassment that he's not.
The Suns okay, I'll give you the Suns.
I would put the Suns in number 1, in my opinion.
I'll give you Thibodeau for the Knicks.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Doc Rivers.
Doc.
Doc or Pop, but Pop's sitting at home for the playoffs this year.
Yeah, they were out in the play-in.
So, Doc. But like, no, John, let's go to a game next year.
All right. I'm all about it. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Because to me, I've said this multiple times, and Jackie and we can't wait to get back into the city and start going to games again for all the sports. But that's my favorite ticket in town.
Okay.
The Sixers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I play the lottery once every 5 months.
Yeah.
Like when it's like 437 million, like the one is on, I played on Tuesday. And if I ever hit one of those kind of $500 million kind of things, I would buy one of the suites at the Wells Fargo.
Hell yeah.
And just have it for every event.
Everything. The concerts, the
Sixers,
Flyers,
the Flyers, the Wings,
the Globetrotters.
Whoever's going. I'm just going to live there.
I'll be there. Yeah, yeah.
How hype would that be?
That'd be awesome.
Hype, yes.
I never even considered that as an option to spend money on.
Talk to your
the
boss.
Suites have they have 20 seats, maybe.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Have you ever sat in a suite?
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah,
because you can know in the back. They bring
you food.
Yeah.
So we went there for Fish's brother-in-law's bachelor party, and we got a suite for a Wings game for the lacrosse.
Okay.
None of us like lacrosse, but it was like, we can get a suite for
nothing. Yeah.
So there's 20 of us just ready for bachelor party shenanigans. And we roll in and we're like, all right, let's go. The food's set up. We're like, yeah, let's go. We open up the fridge and there's no beer in there.
Wow.
And our boy Irv, who set up the party, was like, oh, no. And went and talked. I see him pointing at emails on his phone. I ordered blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
They just, our fault. They hooked us up. They just start throwing 30 packs of Miller Lights at us.
That's so awesome.
We probably went through a 30 pack every 4 minutes.
Yeah.
They were just kept throwing us at us like we were seals, and they were throwing fish at us, just throwing them in the room.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought we were going to lose John at my bachelor party.
Yeah, that was rough.
I thought you were going to die. For real.
Combination of
sun poisoning.
Sun and craft beer is going down way too fast.
It was 120 degrees.
Yeah.
And
it didn't help that I started crushing good IPAs like as soon as we were throwing axes in that building.
We were smart enough. I had started drinking craft beer then.
Yeah.
We were smart enough that we got a 6-stool of Brawler.
Yep.
Yards Brawler,
Yeah.
which is a little lower ABV. It's like 4 or 5.
Mhm.
And then we did you can't
Yeah.
go hard
No.
on the IPAs all day.
No,
It's-
that's my mistake. I
We went to
Feel a lot better
a
now.
Phillies game for my bachelor party. That was the end.
Yeah.
That was the last part of it. And yeah, we tailgated in like 120 degree straight up sunlight. John was crushing IPAs. The only thing that like kept me alive was I had, I guess, a little bit more water than everybody else, but also I was on drugs and no one else was. So that was the only reason I survived.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Sixers, they're my favorite ticket in town.
All right.
For sure. Like there's nothing like going to an Eagles game. There's nothing like there's nothing like a dope Eagles tailgate, because none of the other sports in Philly really tailgate like the Eagles tailgate, right? Like,
Sure.
Absolutely.
you know, not to that intensity. I suppose like the closest second for tailgates would be the Phillies, right? Like I've never seen people like standing outside their cars like drinking, you know, a beer before they go in for the Sixers or the Flyers. But usually it's like, all right, I'm here, let's go inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why.
There were Eagles games. A buddy of mine used to work for Acme back when McNabb days, when they were going to the playoffs, and we used to always get tickets. We would go down for the 8:00 playoff game at noon.
Yeah.
And just be there
All day. Yep.
Fish said, went to the Camden River Sharks on my bachelor party. I'm waiting for someone to get divorced so we can do a divorce party.
Fish just had his 20-year anniversary. Happy
happy
anniversary.
Oh, shout out to Fish.
Yingling Head. What's that mean?
So Yingling Head was at one of those games. We went through a case of lager.
Yeah.
And I decided I was going to be loggerhead for the rest of the festivities.
Okay.
So I just had this case of Yingling on my head like a shark fin.
Yep.
I walked into the stadium through security.
Yeah, with that on.
On my head.
Nice.
Nobody patted it down. I could have had an entire case of beer in there, and they never patted it down. And I was like, God damn it, we screwed up.
Yeah.
We could have had this thing full.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Even the Union games are fun.
I'm going to my niece is doing like dance at like a halftime of one of those in like September.
Have you ever been?
I've never been, and
Dude,
I'm kind of
they're
excited
awesome.
to check it out.
It's very cool.
Really weird today. Like I binged a bunch of Ted Lasso, and then I get on Facebook and I got all of these suggested soccer videos. Like, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I know soccer now that I've watched Ted Lasso.
Bit. Like,
And
even though
I
he
have
has no
zero
idea,
clue.
I still don't know what offsides is. I mean, I guess it's kind of like hockey, but
Dude, you guys like that feeling right there is how I feel after watching Jackie and I just binged on Netflix. It's a Netflix original series. There's 3 seasons of it called F1 Drive to Survive.
and you're ready to go see.
Dude, we
Formula One.
literally looked up tickets.
You're ready to drive.
We want to go.
What's
Like
the closest? Like Quebec?
so Montreal would
Montreal.
probably be the closest. In Indianapolis.
Oh, they do one in.
The Indianapolis 500, and then there's one in Texas somewhere.
But I feel like I'd rather see the
whole track.
not the oval.
That's what the Indianapolis. That's what F1 is. F1 is the crazy tracks.
Yeah, that's what I want to. I don't want to see the
NASCAR.
Is Indy the
Yeah.
same track every time, or is it different? Do they actually change
No,
the
it's the
layout?
same
layout?
track. It's the same
Okay.
track.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if, like, because it's not an oval, if they change or
No,
whatever.
no. As far as I know,
When I was listening to you guys talk about that, I just watched Ford versus Ferrari.
That was
movie.
good.
That was
Great
really
movie.
good.
I
Yeah.
liked it a lot.
Very
Yeah. Le Mans is crazy. But like we went into it knowing nothing about F1 other than like we watched Rush and we loved it.
Yeah.
Every time you guys say Rush, I think of the Jason Patrick movie about the undercover drug cop. It's the movie that Tears in Heaven, the Eric Clapton song.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why are you watching that movie from?
No, but like we watched The Drive to Survive because we liked Rush, and we were like, what are we going to watch? Oh, then, whatever. Let's just put this on. I was like, let's just check out the first episode. And we were hooked.
All in on the sport.
Oh my God. Like
watch it on,
I check it out.
Yeah.
Like I'm like last weekend I was like, oh yeah, so and so moved up in the ranks. Whatever. Like oh, like somebody qualified. They got they finished P3. What I don't even know. A few weeks ago I'd have been like, who the fuck is that?
So here's a life hack for you. At least for me, hopefully it works for you guys. I could give such a shit about soccer that I sometimes put soccer on to sleep to. Because it's just like ambient noise of the crowd. Like,
yeah.
Like the whole time. And then like, they're like, that's another thing
but
about.
Then there's a goal and it's like,
but I'm usually asleep. Yeah. So like, it's a good thing. There's like,
luckily they're few and far between.
Yeah. And like, an hour and a half worth of sport. But another thing I think, at least it happens with me, like I get completely fangirl over charming British people. Like anybody with a British accent, to me, like you've just completely won me over and you've become like the instantly most charming person. Like remember that HBO Max show with
Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
I absolutely fell in love with him in that show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just the way that he is just like incredibly charming, the accent, whatever.
He is an exception, but I'm usually the opposite to what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because I thought maybe that's another reason why I liked it so much and why a lot of people probably would is, there's a little bit of that, like you're a fish out of water. Like, when you, I akin it to like, I compare it to like something like where if you go back in time or somebody that's like from like the 1700s suddenly get transported to like 2021.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, everything's so different. Like there's a little bit of that going on with Ted Lasso. Just like they say everything different. They drive on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Like, so there's like that little bit
fizzy
to it.
Water.
Yeah.
That cracks me up.
And the tea thing is hilarious.
Oh my God.
It's like, I can't.
I always thought it was going to taste like muddy water.
Yeah.
And it does.
For real.
So great.
So like, there's
you want some water? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you spit it out? It has bubbles in it.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. So there's some of that stuff that is just like incredibly charming and whatever. For some reason it's easy to like it's like some kind of comedy that like makes it easy to warm up to. Or
now let me ask you this, because speaking of like English accents, which to me is like one of the most annoying accents like in the whole world, but I will draw the line. Like there's like because I've never been there and I don't know where this specific accent comes from. But like you watch Snatch. Yeah. I feel like the less proper the English accent, the more I can get into it.
That's interesting because I feel the opposite.
Like the proper English accent, I can tolerate it for 20 minutes and I'm like, I'm good.
Well, so like I feel like in movies like Snatch, it's very like a lot of slang and a lot of like actual like street talk, but like a lot of the stuff that you see, especially with people, and I just assume that's how it is if you were to like go to London or like anywhere in England and you're just like hanging around people at a restaurant. Yeah. They're naturally incredibly polite as just part of their language. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in a lot of it, but at the same time, fucking wanker, like, comes out all the time, or fuck off, or
I love how much they curse. I love how much they curse.
Yeah, for sure. But like, and at the same time, I think like for them, they don't even care if kids are around for the most part. No. They're just like,
wanker is not a curse to them.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's part of the language.
Yeah.
You sound like you got peanut butter in your mouth. That's what I think of every time. I'm like, God, shut up.
They're incredibly
Potter. Harry Potter.
Potter. No, there's no T. Potter. Harry Potter.
Wizards up 30 at the start of the fourth.
Damn.
When did that happen? Fish is like, Wizards, huh?
Look if they show up on Sunday.
I think it has something to do with it, man. I get easily charmed by that accent and just everybody in there. Just
then you'll probably fuck
anything
with the
different.
F1 Drive to Survive. They're
All right.
not all English, but they're pretty much all foreign anyway.
I think English actually does it a lot more for me than like. I mean, I do dig accents like Australian or Scottish,
South African.
Yeah, no.
No.
I don't know if that is anything.
Yeah,
Is
it
it?
is.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds kind of like Australian.
The chick in Lethal Weapon 2.
Yep. Charlize Theron is South African as well,
She is.
but she doesn't have an accent.
How about
She
the
does
movies,
when
she kind of does, but
if
not in the
you
movies,
listen to
yeah.
like interviews.
Yeah.
Donnie Antwoord?
Yeah, they're from
They're South African, aren't
they are as well.
That's just what I.
Chappie learn.
Yeah. For me though, New Zealand.
Yeah,
That's my shit. Those are my people.
yeah. I want to go to New Zealand before I die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I
I'd rather
have
go there than
I have
Australia.
a friend that he played professional volleyball for a time,
Okay.
and he played over in New Zealand. And I like he's been all over Europe and stuff, but I asked him where his number one place in the world was, and he said absolutely without a doubt New Zealand.
Yeah, I think I like them better.
Because you can
I think,
do everything there. There's cities, there's mountaintops,
Yeah.
you can go skiing, there's beaches, there's countryside, everything you want. Volleyball size spiders,
Yeah,
all that crazy shit.
I feel like Australia is like trailer park Walmart, and I feel like New Zealand is probably like nice neighborhood Target.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
I've never
that's a
been to
good
either
guess.
one,
I feel like that's a good guess.
but I feel like
Well, Australia is like mostly outback, right? Like you got Sydney, and then the rest is just like Mad Max. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know because I've
Some
never
sort
been
of
there.
dystopia.
Yeah, like, well, yeah. Well, it's just I just
More
imagine
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
than
more
Mad
Crocodile
Max.
Dundee. Yeah,
Well,
all right,
isn't
we'll go with that. Yeah,
75% of Australia like Mad Max, pretty much. Like, isn't it just like?
yeah.
I think
the
it's more
outback,
like
yeah.
thick. Yeah, outback.
Yeah.
It's that.
It's wilderness. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas New Zealand is like that as well, but it's more condensed and it's ultimately greener. Like it's just more of like a temperate area as opposed to like the outback. To
Being,
my
like,
knowledge,
close
is
to
like
the
really hot,
equator.
humid. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, this is might be geography.
Might be weather patterns.
Yeah.
Should we hit the toast sounder?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Fun fact.
Okay, terrific.
We got nothing. Taylor promised us in multiple occasions,
I
Put it in
did.
my butt and twist it.
Wow.
and we got nothing.
I deserve all of this. I do.
Nothing.
I know.
Man,
That was a great sounder. Can't believe it's over already.
toast of the week.
Toast of the week. Toast of the week.
It's
I
the
know.
fucking toast of the week.
I feel like I gotta hit something with toast of the week.
Toast of the week.
Mine's easy. Mine's Brienne.
Wow.
That was going to be mine too.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, both of you say something nice about her.
well, it's not all heroes wear capes. It's not something she was really trying to do. It just happened. She became the vessel, and I think that it's not been easy to deal with it. I think that there's been potential legal trouble,
Sure,
for
yeah.
people trying to like throw her under the bus for just being the way that people got out there. I can't imagine what she's going through, just mentally to have to, imagine everybody's scenarios and their stories and going through that minute after minute after minute with a new message over and over again. Like, I don't know. So for her to just say like, F it, it's the right thing to do. It's going to be a lot. It's a lot of work. It's very heavy stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
She's just doing the right thing and making sure the word gets out there, and we're going to have a better industry because of it. So people like her, it's hopefully it doesn't go too unnoticed, and we're going to be in a better place because of it.
Yeah.
So cheers to her.
Well
And
said.
I can't imagine not just the stories that she's getting. Oh, I thought you were going to.
No,
I'm going to let you go. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I'm going to let you go.
Not only the stories that she's getting, I'm sure she's getting shit from guys that are just like, "What are you posting all this?"
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Like put my shit out of business?
Yeah,
or something?
exactly. Yeah.
Look, I mean, if you fucking suck, you got to be okay to like I said, you got to be self-reflective and be like, man, we fucked that up, but like, let's do better. And I think I'm seeing a lot of posts, from breweries that are saying stuff like that, like, hey, we're trying to do better, and we're going to do this, and we're going to put this plan into action, and we're going to have these meetings, and I hope they actually happen. I hope people get held accountable and they continue to hold people accountable. And I mean, come on, guys, like let's just everybody's going to make money. Everybody's going to have fun. It's an incredible industry. There's a lot of great people.
Showing people respect should be the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just show people respect. Guy, girl, different, gender, different identity, different ethnicity. Just show them respect.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Well said, Mr. Steve. It's that easy, guys. Just follow Mr. Steve. Taylor, what do you got?
My toast of the week. Really, like it's a tough act to follow. Fish. Are you loving fish? Yeah, 75% of Australia is like Tupac's California Love video. Exactly like that. All right, so my toast of the week, really, like, so something that I haven't really like plugged much or like talked about much, but technically we're past it, but as far as like the listening world is concerned, we're rapidly approaching our 150th episode of Might Be News. And
wow,
like just over the past like couple weeks, I've kind of like taken a step back from some things, and I've just really been doing some like big boy reflecting on all of this. And I'm so grateful to everyone that has listened, everybody who's watched, and everybody who's been a part of this, whether it was as an audience member or as a cast member or just technical support, CJ, April, like over the years, I have gathered such an incredible group of people, a revolving door of characters that have participated in this whole project. You guys being a shining example of that. I haven't even been on the show. Like, I haven't uploaded an episode of Brews in over a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, everybody, starting with Jackie, who has been a huge factor in this whole thing. We got married and we started the network right after that, and it was like, this has always been part of the plan for us. And I've gotten in, some negative brain space in the past, month or so. And it's just like, to dig it out, it's just like, you have to appreciate what you have and appreciate the work that's being done and appreciate the contributions all across the board. That's what this is now. It might not be what I want it to be every day. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But like, this is me, this network. And it's not just me though. It's you, and it's you, and it's the people listening. Sure. And it's, that's what I love about it. I look at our mobile app and I'm like, God damn, we're impressive.
Yeah.
Right. And like, we have 2 Ds and an F starting on our network next week. I'm very excited for that. And I'm open. If you are out there producing your own podcast and you're like, damn, I want to be on the Might Be News Network. Fucking shoot me a DM. If your podcast is good, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I love doing this.
Yeah.
And I just want to toast everybody that's a part of it, whether it's the people that are sitting at this table, my wife, who's probably currently sleeping, if she can sleep through my loud, obnoxious laughter. Kevin Reevy. Kevin Reevy has been crushing it. We don't even do sports right now.
Yeah.
And he records episodes on his own.
Yep.
And they're great.
They're
batshit crazy, but they're not at the same time.
Dude, I listened on my Monday trip. I listened to him do the We Don't Need Scouts.
The Scouts was the best one.
It was amazing.
It makes total sense.
It does.
And like Kevin Reevy, especially, like, we do not agree on like a lot politically, especially. But like, we have a great working relationship doing this, and he's always motivated to do this.
Yep. He does a good job.
And you guys, especially, like I said, you guys are a shining example of everything that we're doing here. You've been doing it on your own. You have figured it out from beginning to end. You've gotten guests, huge guests. You had people that were on Shark Tank on this show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black is Beautiful stuff. Like, it's huge. I'm just so proud of the whole thing. Just so proud.
I appreciate it, man. Cheers. So, I mean, for us, I think, look, I mean, of course, I would love to just be making $30,000 an episode and ad revenue and all that junk, right? But I mean, to be honest, I just love the friendship and camaraderie that's come out of this, the people that we've met, the industry, the fans, the people that watch, you know, the friends that we've made because of it.
Yeah.
It's just such a great feeling to be a part of the community, and for people to like just take the time to listen, and you know, I think we both appreciate, you know, having the venue to be able to do this on the network.
Hey, man, like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's what it's all about. I'm thrilled. I hit John up. I was like, dude, I don't even produce your show anymore. You guys are going to leave me, are you?
So Might Be Gardens could be a thing. What does that mean?
Fish is a big gardener.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, come on, Fish. We'll talk about gardening.
Might be seedlings.
We'll talk about how Jackie can't keep plants alive.
Yeah, dude, Robin can't either. And I'm struggling to keep some. I'm growing grass, dude. I'm out there every day watering that junk.
Dude, Might Be Gardening might be just what we need.
It might be. It's enough of a niche that they'll just crush that market.
Yeah.
People will be out there with their earbuds in, listening to Fish, poking holes in dirt. You know?
Farmer Fish.
Farmer Fish. See? Yeah, it's over. Come on, Fish. Hit me up in the DMs.
Nobody knows. That's an untapped market.
It's a very untapped
Gonna
market.
fucking kill it.
You might be the first.
All right, let's do this thing. Guys, if you took the time to listen to us, you cannot understand how much it means to us. Listen to Taylor.
It means so much. You guys are absolutely fantastic.
So, guys, you're watching, you're listening, YouTube, podcast, Facebook. You guys are incredible. Thank you for participating in the chat. Thank you for the text messages, for the DMs, for all the love. You guys are just amazing. Thank you. Make sure you are doing everything. Following us, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe, rate, like, all that stuff. You guys don't understand how much it really helps us grow this thing and get noticed. So it really means a lot for you to take the time to do that. If you're listening to us on the podcast, like us, rate us, subscribe to us, whatever you can do to help push that. It would mean the world to us. But guys, I had a blast. Thanks for hanging out. Taylor, we're just gonna do this more often, man, because like,
yo, I'm all about it.
This seemed easy. This was 2 hours. And
do you mean that? Do you mean like you want to go longer more often, or
no? I'm just saying that, like, you know, not. It's look. The guests have been amazing.
Yeah,
the guests have been amazing, and it's been really cool to get to talk to people from all over the country, and some of the breweries that we love so much, to be able to you know, get them on the show. But just to like sit here and chat and bullshit like we did at the beginning. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Drink beers and talk about the stuff that we like to talk about that isn't always beer related, but you know what I mean?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, like
Just
you
having
guys,
a good
if
chat over beers.
you guys have your
is good.
guests, great. If you don't fret.
Yeah.
Come sit with me.
It's one of those things like when you're sitting at a bar.
Yeah.
And you strike up a good conversation with somebody and you just have good conversation over good beers. That's the thing, man. That's what everybody loves.
Yeah.
And that's what was so much fun about this.
Well, I agree.
2 hours flew by.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go. It's a school night.
All right, everybody. Peace out.
See you
later. All right, I'm gonna
That stayed red the whole time.
hit that.
Yeah, you can hit spacebar too.
Hit stop.
Just hit anything in here and then it'll open the program. Yep, you got it.
Sweet. All right, guys. Fish, have a good night, buddy. Later, everybody else. Is he peeing? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yo, who cuts a pizza like that? Oh.
see that?
The okra?
No, jalapeno.
Mm.
That shit's got to be spicy.
Yo, we're still live.
Are you?
Yeah.